you know, is a larger effort by President Donald Trump to use National Guard troops and surge federal law enforcement in cities, particularly ones controlled by Democrats, according to the AP. All right, and again, the city is controlled by Democrats, right? So what does that tell you? You're not going to perfectly safe cities that have no problem with crime and surging federal support. They want to say this is about cities that are run by Democrats and that are majority black cities. It has very little to do with that. This was a situation where Donald Trump could use leverage, having a Republican governor, to send federal law enforcement into Memphis. And so far, so good. Now, there was a time when Police C.J. Davis, when asked about any Tren de Aragua members being in Memphis, well, not that we've heard of, not that we know of, and we knew that was garbage. Johnny Utah told me that was garbage. Johnny Utah, my guy, my Fed, he's my source on the task force. He said, oh no, we run into these guys all the time. He says MPD doesn't want you to know about it. All right, so in this made me kind of chuckle a little bit. Now, with all these arrests, this surge of federal forces, this task force, right? If they're making as many arrests, and they continue to make as many arrests as we think they will, because they are enforcing everything, from the drive-out tags, everything. All right, there's no more of this, maybe let people go for drive-out tags or what. They are enforcing everything, so I'm told. Yeah. So there will be a lot of arrests. Yeah. So you know who's all clinched up? It's the Shelby County Sheriff's Office. Given that we've started overcrowding in the jail, the processing times, where are you going to put all these people? Well, somebody's going to start doing their jobs. Now, you've got federal agents. They will try to charge people with federal crimes where appropriate. But then you've got a lot of people who will have to get into the state system. Well, what happens then? Well, it's up to the DA, isn't it? It's up to Steve Mulroy. Here we've got Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy. He says he is not yet overwhelmed by the caseload generated by the new task force. However, he said his office is preparing for the possibility of an increase in arrests as crackdowns intensify. He says the main difference is simply the sheer volume of federal agents that have come to Memphis from elsewhere. That will result in a higher volume or spike in arrests. So far, we haven't seen anything we can't handle. We'll be ready for it when it does. That's right, Steve Mulroy will be ready to dismiss 50% of these cases against those arrested by the Memphis Safe Task Force. I wonder if that's what he means. And we dismissed 56% of the cases, so we just figure, 56% is over half, so we're not yet overwhelmed. Mulroy said while his office is not adding staff, he is discussing possible adjustments to handle a surge in cases. He says we've talked about perhaps standing up a night court. That's a great idea. In fact, my father called me last week and told me they need a night court, which immediately I started making references to Dan Fielding, obviously, and Judge Harry Anderson. You know, what was her name? Vanessa Warfield.
That shit diabolical. A night court? Yo ass go to court at nighttime? That shit diabolical, man. They coming down with their wrath, man.
Her name is Roz.
That shit diabolical.
Right? Man, I miss Marky Post. I love Night Court. That was a great show. That show was a lot of fun. So yeah, they're looking at doing Night Court, where there could be an after-hours ability to process cases. How about do that now? Why didn't you do that when you got elected? You're talking about processing times. You're talking about backlogs of cases. Why would you not have already done night court? You could think about the opportunities, man. You could dovetail off the first 48. That was very popular when it was operating in Memphis. You could do like actual Memphis night court. You could actually get the night court theme going. Bow, 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 wicka, wicka, wow. Bow, wow, wow, bow, 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 bow. Rivera's like, what are you talking about? Another 80s TV show from Jake.
It
was a great show. They tried to reboot Night Court, I think, with Dan LaRoquette, with Dan Fielding in it. Let's see, we've got, according to Mulroy, if the Tennessee Highway Patrol makes a traffic stop and guns and drugs are found, that agency can graduate the arrest to the DEA or the FBI. He said this would mark the beginning of their journey toward prosecuting those arrested by the Memphis Safe Task Force. He says no more than 20% will go federal, and the vast majority of them will be in our state court system, which means that the jail will have to hold the detainees. The courts will have to process those cases, and we'll have to prosecute them. He's like, oh, we'll dismiss half, and then we'll prosecute the other 44%. But yeah, it sounds like a lot of work. I'm not sure if we want to do that. Mulroy emphasized that any progress not yet been activated in Memphis. So he says, we're getting these benefits without any National Guard presence. I think it's possible to work with our federal law enforcement partners and really make great improvements with public safety without the need of military troops. All right, so what is this? Look, this whole...
Hey, they ain't bullshit neither, though. I seen them.
Getting strange.
My own eyes.
It really is.
They ain't bullshit. Every time they pull over, it's like 3-4 they ass. All got guns. You know, big guns, too. So they ain't bullshitting out here.
Tennessee Highway Patrol, send anything and everything, but don't send the National Guard. We can't have that here. Like, well, can you articulate exactly what is your concern with the National Guard as such? And they say, oh, it's military. They don't like the way it makes us feel. Like, okay. I mean, you'll get over it. You'll get over it. That's a part of this. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I do know this, that for those who are charged federally, they could be sent up to that core civic facility in Mason, Tennessee.
See, that's the concentration camp. Remember I was telling y'all about that? Yeah.
So you don't have to put everybody in 201.
Yeah.
You might be creative.
That's wild.
What are they doing right now with Mud Island?
That's wild.
Baron von Opperbeans. One place that you can have, like, I don't know, an Elvis Alcatraz on the other.
Man.
I was going to song about jail. I think it'd be fitting. You could do that. You can get creative with it.
That's wild.
I think that once they start making all these arrests and start cutting into a massive backlog of warrants, I'm going to tell you a little bit of the information I got from Johnny Utah coming up. You would be astounded.
I'm going to come back. This cold. Lord willing, we can talk about this later on. You know, we do a lesson with the bros. But that's heavy. That's heavy, man. But the next time, hey, Shalom, Baba Raka Akim, give our honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Hakadash, and double honor to our elder, peace and bless the hope elect. Shalom. Man, it's cold.